Good evening, good evening, good evening, YouTube channel. Well, it's another episode of The Journey Begins. Day 5 of orientation, or let's say pre-PSD training phase. Uh, Today was the day that we really started doing some stuff, and it looks like it was exciting to me. Where do I begin? Well, the morning started out like every Friday morning at Prime. We got on the shuttle and went over to the Millennium Building at Prime Incorporated at around 6:30, quarter to 7. And then we sit down and had a awesome breakfast this morning. I had a big, huge omelet. And we sit there and waited to hear the different departments. Excuse me, I moved a little bit. Heard the different departments at Prime. And it was really nice. It was really nice and very informative. I got to meet one of the good people, and I'm going to say her name wrong. I got a feeling, Angela. I think it's Angela, one of the main persons that do the promotional stuff for Prime. She's one of the recruiters, and she come up and sat with me and a couple of the new guys and talked to us, asked us where we were from. She was kind of shocked and started laughing when she found I was from Branson, Missouri, just down the road from here. And we talked to her for about 10-15 minutes. And then the safety meeting, which that's what we went there for, began. And different departments there, safety, you name it, we got all up there and started talking to us about certain things. Talked to us about new things that were going to come about, in reference to, the prevention of alcohol and drug abuse, and we got all the way down to it. And then they asked all the veterans to stand up and gave us applauded to us and thanked us for our service, which was awesome, since I am a veteran. And right after that, then Robert Lowe, the owner and CEO of Prime, stood up and come straight to me. And it blew my mind. I didn't know how to react. He come walking straight up to me. I kind of half stood up, and he grabbed my hand and he said, "Thank you for being a part of Prime, and thank you for your service." And you won't know what that meant to me. It was awesome. I mean, I wasn't expecting it. Honestly, I was not expecting it at all. I mean, everybody at my table was kind of shocked. I was shocked because here I am, a new kid on the block, and I was introduced, or I was met by Robert Lowe, and that was awesome. I about to shake the man's hand. That was just phenomenal. An awesome guy. He gave us a good pep talk. He talked about the concerns, and he knew that our job is very important this time of year due to the fact that the holiday seasons are upon us. Christmas is just right around the corner and everything, and we just got over Thanksgiving. And he explained to us how important we were because of this. And he said the sacrifices that we make as drivers and training drivers and our families, what that means, the sacrifice that our families make at home, is something that he recognizes and acknowledges. And he said, we appreciate each and every one of you that work for this company. Because if it wasn't for us, we wouldn't have this company. We wouldn't be in the position we're in, or he wouldn't be in the position he's in. So that was really mindful, really nice. And I have so much respect for this man now. I mean, I've never met him before. He was just totally awesome. And of course, me being shocked, he come up and shook my hand. I was the only one he shook hands with, just blowed me away. And that was kind of unique, and that was really appreciated. So we went through, and he did his part. We finished up around 9 o'clock this morning, and then we all started walking back to the Plaza building because we were getting ready to start our actually getting in a vehicle, or getting one of the trucks and actually driving around the pad area where they do the training for the backing and everything. So we all headed back down there. And of course, they had a driver's meeting. They were training or certifying some drivers that into the PSD phase and the TNT phase to become trainers. Well, with that being said, of course, my trainer, which I still ain't going to mention his name until I get permission from him, because I'm not going to do that. And he was one of the trainers that were actually going through the certification. He's done that for the past 2 or 3 days. So he was there, a few other people were there, and then they sent them out to get their trucks, and they used 3 different trucks. And there was 25 of us in my class. And we had a section that had 3 trucks or 4 or 5 trucks that did pre-trip only, and then 3 trucks that lets you actually get in the driver's seat and drive around the pad to get a feel of what one of these trucks do. I mean, it wasn't speed or nothing like that. I mean, you're only allowed to do 10 miles an hour, and you had to watch everything you were doing. So anyway, I was lucky that my trainer for this PSD and possibly TNT phase coming up, his truck was one of the ones that we got to drive in. So where did Curtis go? I went to my trainer's truck. You bet I did. So they put 3 of us in there. Well, two students and him in there. And our whole job was to just drive around and get the feel of the truck. So I hop up in there and I'm all gun-ho and ready to rock and roll. And we get down there and he gives me his driver's code and we get in there and I get everything. Of course, I can't find nothing. Headlights, 4-way flashers, and I'm looking all over this, how to get the seat moved up to fit me, resetting my mirrors so they fit to me. And what do? I freeze. I just literally froze up. I've got both my hands at 10 and 2 on the steering wheel, looking straight ahead, and I cannot move. So my instructor looks over at me, and I kind of didn't move, and he goes, "Are you okay?" And I didn't say anything for a second. He goes, "Curtis, are you okay?" And I go, "I don't know if I'm okay or not. I really don't know." I was scared to death. It just intimidated me because I was so high up and didn't know what to do, and I was just a nervous wreck. And he said, "Now I want you to take a deep, deep breath." And boy, you know, I don't care. I've only known my trainer for 2 to 3 days, and I've not been with him at all except for today, really close up and talking in a longevity time because he's been in training. But man, you're talking about, I know for a fact that he's going to be one heck of a trainer. I just know it, just by feeling it from inside of me. And he said, "Do you need a minute?" And I said, I took a minute. And then he said, "Now, I want you to walk through the sequence when I tell you what to do." And I said, "Okay." So I started turning the keys, and I made sure everything's set up. Had to wait for the ABS to come on and go off. And then there's a particular thing with a Peterbilt that has these sensors that go, you know, like that. And then it all of a sudden got this clicking sound. And when that clicking sound, then you can start the engine. So I turn the key and I start the engine up. And, you know, just right then and there, it was just phenomenal to me. So anyway, not trying to make the video long, but it was such a great day. I just had to talk about it. It's 10:30 at night, and I'll get to more information. But anyway, we finally get it all wound up, and he said, "Okay, I want you to go ahead and proceed." So I said, "Okay, fine." So he said, "Make sure you put your brake on, your foot brake, your service brake, and now release your parking brake. Don't release the trailer because we were running bobtail." I said, "No, I knew that." So I pushed in the park brake, and then he said, "Okay, selector switch to D for drive." And he said, "Go ahead and pull out." I said, "Okay, cool." So I get ready, and I put the gas on it. I pushed the hammer down, and I just barely pushed on the gas pedal, and the whole truck just lurched on me. And I automatically went to the brake. Well, there's a new trick now that I know about the brake. But anyway, I literally put the brake on, and about put us all through the windshield. I mean, you know, it was funny to me, but it wasn't funny because it was embarrassing to me. And he looked over at me, just started laughing. The girl that's training him was sitting in the bunk area, in the sleeper area, and she grabbed both handles of both back of the chair, and she just kind of laughed. And I said, "Oh my God, this is not going to be good." And it finally took off, and we lurched, and we're only doing 5-10 miles an hour. And I'm just lurching, stopping, lurching, and I'm afraid to put this brake on again because I'm afraid I'm going to slam everybody through the window. So we went around, and I was just having problems. I made my turns like I acted like I had a trailer on, and he really come back and said, "Dang, that's a good turn. You did a good turn. You did a good turn." So the confidence was starting to build. But anyway, I was still petrified. So by the time we got back around our lap, I parked it. I did it all right, put it back in neutral, popped my park brake, and I just stood there. And we were sitting there, and I said, "Okay, this was good." And he said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, it's okay, it's good. So anyway, we let change places, and the girl got in there, and I sit in the back. And this lady, she used to be a school bus driver and everything. She got out there, and it was a little touchy for her, but she was able to maneuver, and that was cool. And we got it back around, and we stopped. And then my trainer looks back at me and said, "You need to get back up in this driver's seat." And I kind of looked at him kind of funny. I said, "Why?" And he said, "Because I want you back in the driver's seat. I'm going to be your trainer. I want you back in this driver's seat." I said, "Okay." I said, "I was going to let the other people do it." And he said, "Don't worry about the other people. Just get in the driver's seat." "Okay, I'll do that." So I get up in the driver's seat. I'm running through the motions. I know what I got to do now. And I take off, and it's just smooth as a sheet of ice. And I'm cruising around at the speed. I'm not lurching. I'm not jumping on the brakes. I practice what he tells me. Leave my heel on the floor of the cab and just barely press down on your brakes. I took all my turns wide, did not lurch one bit around the whole 15 acres, and I come to a rest. And he laughed at me, he looked at me, he said, "I've never seen an old man or an older man have a smile as big as you did from ear to ear." He said, "That was the best thing I could ever see, because I know right then and there your confidence built up." And a whole relief on me just came down. I mean, I was just so relieved. So we basically got done with that, got out of the truck, and we went over to the other trucks that were doing pre-trip. So we ran through the pre-trip a little bit, back and forth for a little while. And I was ready to get back in our truck and drive around again. Well, it happened to get down a time where everybody had to leave. So anyway, we went back to classroom and everything, and then they told us we had the instructor told everybody that the drivers and your trainee, your PSD student, needed to go meet the fleet manager and go beat logs, which is where you put your daily logs or your driver logs and stuff. So me and him and another trainer and her student, we all followed together, and we went up to the Millennium Building, went up there, and I got to meet my fleet manager, our fleet manager, and he was just an awesome guy. Of course, we weren't allowed to leave tonight. We all had to come back in. They wouldn't allow none of us PSD students to drive after we completed 4 hours of mandatory training that we had to have before we can even leave the site with our trainer. So we went back, and we went over and met my fleet manager, and in the process, fleet manager was looking for us a load, and just doing that, getting it all figured out. And then we had something, but we weren't going to get it until tomorrow. So anyway, we left there, went to logs. Man introduced me to the logs and talked to the lady and told me to keep tabs of all my logs and everything. I said, "Yeah, not a problem." So we left there and did that. And then we decided to go back. We went back to the Plaza building, and we got the truck, and we brought it back over to the Millennium Building, parked in the pack area where all the trucks are, decided to go get us some dinner, and then we're going to start our 4-hour training. So we got in there and did all that. It was awesome. It was great and fun. I enjoyed myself. And we went from there, and we had dinner. Well, we brought our dinner and put it in the truck, and then we took off and went back over to pads. Well, we figured we'd just get us an empty trailer from the pad, a training trailer, which is, they're legit. They got all the lights working, everything like that. So we went there and hooked it up. He had showed me the procedure of hooking up a trailer and all that stuff. And he said, "This is yours now. So we're going to go over to the pad and work a little bit." So first thing he did, made me straight line back, which he said I did perfect. And then we're going to do we did a right offset, left. Well, we did a left offset, the passenger side offset. And that got me where I was concerned, because I got to learn my points of the trailer to be able to turn. So we went through the procedures, And technically it took a little bit, but I was able to get it in there without maybe one or two fractions that I had to go pull up and put back in there. So, but you're allowed to do so many pull-ups and inspections before you call it good, or you fail that section of it. So I did okay. I was a little nervous and everything. So we got through with that, and we decided we were going to take a ride down the interstate. Here's where the adrenaline rose again. So he went down to his friend, his other trainer friend, and asked him if they wanted to tag along with their truck and that new student. And they wanted to do some more pad training. So he said, come on, we're gone. So he come and got me, got in the truck, and he said, you're operating. Get in the driver's seat. We're going down the highway. So what was fun about it, we got out there a little intimidated. I did my maneuvers, got up there, went on Kearney Street, went 65 south. Where did we go? We went to Branson. Yes, we did. And I got all these hills to negotiate with this brand new truck I have no clue about. But he was the best. He was so calm and cool with me. I got in there, I put myself together, kept watching my mirrors, put it down where I needed to be, drove, moved over when I had to. Yes, there's some stuff I need to work on. I got to pay attention to my surroundings. I need to make sure I'm checking out signs, road signs, different areas, which I wasn't, I was more concentrating myself. I was trying to concentrate on watching my mirrors all the time, but you got to do a lot more than that. You got to keep an eye on everything, always moving your head and observing, not just alone. It's not about just driving. It's a lot more to driving than just getting in the truck and getting your butt in there and taking it, turn it in, drive and going. It's not. There's a lot more to this story than you think. So anyway, we took off and headed southbound, and we're cruising along, and I'm driving. We're doing great. I'm doing fine. He's not said nothing to me, picking on me about not knowing. He said, what's that sign say? And I don't even know because I've already blown by it, and I didn't actually look at it. And he's making pointers and everything. We're driving. So we get down, we get past Branson. I showed, kind of explained to him where I lived and everything. So he goes, where's the truck stop? And I said, well, there's no truck stop down here unless we go clear down by the Arkansas line. So we went to the Arkansas line. Went down there in a place called Wild Bill's is where we stopped at, right there on the Arkansas line. We pulled in there, put it through the pumps, and he got in there and got him a soft drink or whatever. We got out and did our thing, and then we got back in the truck, and I took off, and we headed back. We got back, and then he started showing me how to use the cruise control, or just periodically showing it. He didn't do anything. We just went through it. And we drove right back, and we got back out there, and I drove the whole way down and the whole way back. Got back over here to Prime, went back out to the pad, and he said, well, we got about a half an hour, 45 minutes. We're going to do more pad work. So I did another front line or straight line back, done that, did a right offset and did a left offset. Took me a little time to get my numbers on how that trailer's got to turn, but as far as testing was concerned, I didn't get no points off or nothing. I did it correctly. When I thought I was getting close, I just pulled it forward because I'm allowed to pulls up. And I'd go back and check where I was and then go back forward. And he was doing the critiquing all the time. And I was able to put it all in the boxes on both sides. And he didn't say you would, if you'd have done it this way, you wouldn't have failed. So by the time we finished that, and we were sitting on the pad and we're looking at him, he goes, what do you think? And I said, dude, I could tell you right now, from when we started at 1 o'clock this afternoon, and it was roughly about 9 o'clock tonight, I said, you won't believe my confidence has built so much. Not completely, don't get me wrong. I still have a lot to learn, even before I come back in a couple of weeks or 3 weeks to get my CDL. But I'm telling you right now, the confidence in me that I have in myself, that I know I can drive a tractor trailer, it's growing by the minute. I am not kidding you. At first, I was scared to death. I froze up. I didn't know what to do. And today, I feel comfortable enough with myself that I can go right out there, get in that Peterbilt, and take off down the road. Don't get me wrong. I have a lot of training to learn and a lot of trainer. But I'm telling you, I got one heck of a trainer, and I am so excited for this journey that we are beginning. Now, with that being said, I just wanted to give you guys just a short video. I'm going to upload this. I'm getting ready to go to bed because I'm so worn out. I've been going up since 5 o'clock. We actually got us a load for tomorrow, which I'm excited about. I'm just ecstatic about it. We're not going to probably leave till sometime tomorrow afternoon. We got to go down into Oklahoma and drop a load at a Walmart, and I'm happy. I'm just excited about it. So right now I'm getting all my stuff together. I'm basically almost completely packed up. I'm getting ready to go get me a shower real quick, make me feel a little better. I'm just excited for this venture, and we'll see where it takes us, So guys, listen now, since I'm a PSD trainee, or student, I'm not allowed to have my phone out. I'm not allowed to do no communications while I'm driving. I can't do nothing. So I'm letting you all know right now, if I get on here, it's because I'm out of the truck, in a hotel room, or in the sleeper. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to answer the phone. I cannot answer the phone. It's against the rules. So once I get in that truck to start driving, my phone comes off. It shuts down. I will not be having it on at all. So don't mess with me. And I'm going to do all this stuff and get this stuff taken care of. Now, with that being said, once I have a stop point or a rest break or whatever, I'll try to get on here and make a few videos if I can, a quickie or whatever, kind of give you updates of my status. I'm not going to talk about where I'm at or where I'm going. It don't need to be said over live, over an open air. It's just the way it is. Thinking security, thinking in my head. And notify all my family and my friends out there. I'll let you all know. But I don't want you to stop clicking on this channel. Pretty soon, we're going to be changing this to Trike-Rider Trucking. I'm telling you, Trike-Rider Trucking is coming soon. I'm telling you. For now, we'll leave it here on the Curtis Barnes channel. And I hope everybody keeps subscribing. I want you to like it. And I want you to ring my bell. So let's keep this going. I've really enjoyed talking to you folks. I like to listen to responses. Thank you, Brandon. Everybody that's contacted me back. No Hippie Trucking and Barbecue. I'm awesome, man. Thank you so much for your compliments. And thank you much for the encouragement. And anybody else, Crazy Bags, Chad Ricks, anybody that signs on to my channel. Guys, I thank you so much for this. It's awesome. I've been waiting for this opportunity for about 3 or 4 months. And now it's my turn. I get to go out and have a good time and do what I really want to do. But let's remember, I want you all to subscribe, like, and ring a bell. And I want you to all to please be safe out there. There's that's a dangerous road out there, and I want everybody to be safe, be able to be with your loved ones, and enjoy life as it is. But remember, always strive for perfection. We'll talk to you guys soon. Hopefully I'll give you a short video tomorrow once I get around before we pull out, and we'll talk from there. So y'all have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you all soon. Good night.